What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Talking with Beaters, episode 168, the weekly Core 4 news. On today's episode, we got NFL players requesting trades out of their homes. De'Aaron Fox gets a huge pay raise, and we get the first college football poll to drop, the coaches poll. First, let's head into the MLB. So we'll start this one off in the Major League Baseball. We got trade deadline from last week. It's been a couple weeks since we've done baseball, or honestly any sports, because we did a awesome 5-episode series of Jeopardy. If you guys have not watched that, go check that out on the YouTube channel. A lot of fun, a lot of really fun questions to go through. You kind of see how everybody does. Other people that are reoccurring on these episodes. So if you guys want to go check that out, YouTube exclusive only, so go check that out now. But MLB talk, trade deadline from last week. Only 10 notable trades I'm going to talk about here, just kind of things that I think are more important than some of the other trades, but a lot of trades did go down, a lot of refreshing, mainly to bullpens and starting rotations. It seemed like that was the big topic of trades. We'll start with the first one. San Diego picks up Mason Miller and JP Sears in exchange for Leo DeVries, Brandon Nett, Henry Baez, and Edurniel Nunez. So the A's getting rid of their top players, not a big surprise. We've seen this all the time when it comes to them. Mason Miller going to San Diego is definitely going to be a booster to that lineup. That starting rotation is going to look a lot scarier now when you got Suarez or Miller you could go to close games out. Leo DeVries going to the A's could be a really good thing for the Athletics there, but again, it's another prospect that only time will tell when it comes to it. But once again, the A's doing exactly what the A's do, getting rid of their top players. Houston picks up Carlos Correa in exchange for Matt Molesky. I believe is how you say it. Minnesota has not been very good this year. Carlos Correa going back to Houston. Kind of a big surprise, but with the injuries to the Astros right now, I think over 17 or 18 players on the IL for them. I definitely think Correa is going to be thrown in that lineup perfectly. He's going to help out that team a lot. Seattle picks up Eugenio Suarez from Arizona for 3 prospects. Suarez going back to Seattle. I think I said San Diego. He's going back to Seattle. I think Suarez is a good pickup there. He's got a lot of good power. Arizona's definitely going to miss him a lot. Philadelphia picks up Johan Duran for Mick Abel and Eduardo Tate. They're going to Minnesota. Abel, I think, is a pretty solid relief or starter. I think he's got a little bit more years to kind of prosper there, see what happens with his status. But Johan Duran is already a fan favorite. If you haven't seen his walkout, go check that out on YouTube. Really awesome, fun walkout to look at. So I think Philly's going to be very excited to keep Duran for the rest of the season. The Yankees pick up David Bednar from Pittsburgh in exchange for prospects. Bednar, I don't think is all that great, so I honestly don't think this trade is going to work out very well for the Yankees. I think he's a little overrated. Pittsburgh's not a very good team. I don't think Bednar is all that special. Texas gets Merrill Kelly from Arizona, 4 prospects, 3 of them exactly. Kelly's okay. I mean, Arizona has not been all that great. I really wish they were. So Merrill Kelly going to Texas, maybe just another good starting rotation piece for the Rangers. For the Mets, they get Ryan Helsley from St. Louis for 3 prospects as well. Helsley is actually pretty solid, really big on that fastball, usually clocking over 100 miles per hour on every pitch when it comes to the fastball. So I think Helsley is going to be a really nice pickup for the Mets. Tampa Bay pick up Griffin Jax in exchange for Taj Bradley. So I think this is actually going to leave both teams very satisfied. I think Bradley going to Minnesota is going to help out that rotation, which is now very thin based off of all the moves that Minnesota has been doing. When it comes to Tampa Bay, Griffin Jax, I actually really like him. I think he's an underrated relief pitcher. He's got a lot of nasty stuff. I think he's going to get good pickup in the bullpen for the Rays. So I think both teams are left satisfied with that trade. The Yankees also pick up Camilo Doval from the Giants for 4 prospects. Doval's really good. He started out the year not in the closer role. Everyone expected him to be. Got that closer role back near the middle of the season. I think Doval is honestly going to help out that rotation more in the bullpen situation over Bednar. So I think that's a better pickup than Bednar for the Yanks. But they're losing a lot of prospects, so hopefully it does work out for them. And lastly, we got 2 more trades. The Mets pick up Tyler Rogers from San Francisco in exchange for Jose Butto and 2 prospects. I don't really think this is going to be much for either team. It's just another relief pitcher, but Rogers actually doing pretty solid this year. Maybe he carries it over to the Mets, but I don't think either team is going to be left real satisfied with their pickups there. And the last one to talk about, a 3-team trade. Cincinnati picks up Zach Littell. Tampa Bay gets Hunter Fiducia, I think is how you say it, and Brian Van Bell, while the Dodgers pick up 3 prospects from the opposite team, Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. So the only one to really talk about is Littell going to Cincinnati. I think he's actually a pretty solid pitcher. Cincinnati, I don't really think is going to be good enough to make the playoffs. I think they're trying to make that push. I just don't think the rotation and the bullpen pieces that they have is enough to get them in there. They got some pretty solid bats in the lineup, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Littell definitely helps it, but I still don't think they'll make playoffs. Tampa Bay picking up these 2 guys. The catcher, Fiducia from LA. I don't think he's all that special. I mean, he wasn't going to get a lot of playing time here with Will Smith in the lineup, so him going to Tampa going to revitalize his career, but overall, nothing too exciting there. So overall, trade deadline, as I mentioned, a lot of pitchers moved around, starting rotation, bullpen pieces. I think that was definitely the storyline a lot. A couple teams that, not surprised, they made moves. San Diego getting big names. The A's dropping a lot of players. Minnesota dropping a lot of players. Houston going out and picking up another bat. I definitely think that helps. They needed a lefty bat, though, in the lineup. They did not get that lefty bat, so that's going to be interesting there. The Mets picking up some pieces as well. So there's definitely going to be a couple teams there with playoff pushes and playoff aspirations, definitely going down the rest of the season. So let's move on now. Boston signs Roman Anthony to 8 years, $130 million extension. This seems like the normal thing that Boston's been doing recently, which is going out and getting their young players into early contracts. They're kind of doing what the Atlanta Braves did. And I really think the Red Sox are trying to use that as an example on why they're signing some of these guys right now. So we'll see if it works out. The Cubs announced that they DFA'd Ryan Presley. Nothing too special from Presley this year, so not surprised there. Houston announced Isaac Paredes tore his hamstring, will be out 6 to 7 months. That is why Carlos Correa was picked up, and Correa will be playing third base probably for the rest of the season as well. Baltimore announced that Grayson Rodriguez is out for the season. That is due to an elbow surgery that he will be need immediately. And the last thing to talk about, the 2027 All-Star Game has been announced, and it's going to be hosted by the Chicago Cubs. Not surprised. I mean, the Cubs have an amazing stadium, such a great history there. All-Star Game being there, really nice touch there. So 2027 All-Star Game will be held in Chicago. All right, let's head to the NFL, where we start off with the trade requests. We got 2 trade requests to talk about. Terry McLaurin from the Washington Commanders and Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. So we're talking about Terry first. Terry's been really kind of adamant about the contract disputes. I think it has been guaranteed money is between the two, between the team and him. He has been reporting to camp because I think him taking those fines is definitely adding up. So he's back in camp. But I will say I do not think Terry is going to start off the season in Washington. I think they're going to find a different spot there. So honestly, it looked like a rotation or a team that was going to be really destined for another good run in the playoffs. Now without Terry McLaurin being there potentially, who knows what's going to happen. So hopefully they figure that out, whether it is a good trade piece coming back or make them satisfied with a new contract. For Dallas' situation with Parsons, kind of surprised. Parsons, I don't think, is requesting a trade because of contract disputes. I could be incorrect on that. But I think Parsons is one of the top defensive pieces you could get right now on the market. So as long as the team is willing to give up pretty decent price of assets to Dallas, I think they're going to be very happy with what comes in return, because Micah Parsons is one of the top defenders in the league. So 2 big names to request trades. Not sure if either will start on week 1 for their current teams, but it's definitely something to keep your eye out, especially going into fantasy drafts. Definitely keep an eye out on that. Denver announced that they have signed defensive lineman Zach Allen to 4 years, $102 million. Really nice contract for Zach Allen. The Chargers announced that they have signed Keenan Allen back for 1 year, $8.52 million. And the Rams announced that they extended Kyron Williams to 3 years, $33 million. So really good contracts for all 3. I actually think Allen's probably the worst of those 3. I don't think Keenan Allen has much left in the tank. Did not do well in Chicago. I think he was there, 2 years now. Not really good there. Maybe going back home to LA is where it's going to pretty much be better for him because Chicago was not it for Keenan Allen. The Rams also announced that Matt Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc, and he received an epidural the other day to help him with it. Supposedly he's considered week to week, but he does anticipate to be ready for week 1. So again, be careful of that when you're drafting a quarterback for your fantasy draft. Matt Stafford might not start week 1 if this back injury is still lingering. Minnesota, their wide receiver Jordan Addison has been suspended 3 games for violating league substance abuse policy. Those 3 games will be at Chicago versus Atlanta and versus Cincinnati. So those are going to be 3 big games that Minnesota would love to be out 3-0 to. But without Jordan Addison being there, it's going to be a little bit tougher. They still got, obviously, Justin Jefferson and some other pieces there. But having another good wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 there definitely makes a big difference. So that's going to be interesting for that. So do not expect Addison to play the first 3 games of the season. And lastly, when it comes to NFL substances, they are announced that they are banning smelling salts. Oddly enough, smelling salts have been banned immediately. This is due to the fact that it could be proven unsafe and be masking signs of concussion. I don't know the science behind that. That is the reason why the league is going against smelling salts. A lot of players are not happy about that. George Kittle was one that definitely expressed his feelings about it, saying that he is not very happy about that. Really interesting that smelling salts is the thing to get rid of. Now it also makes me wonder, will other leagues follow that path? Will basketball follow? Will the NHL follow? I see NHL players use it all the time. Will we see those leagues follow in the paths of the NFL? I do not know. I would figure they're going to want to see more research on it, but to see that come up as potential masking of concussion signs, really interesting there. So I'm curious on to see if we'll get more information moving forward. And the last thing to talk about from the NFL, the ESPN network and NFL has reached an agreement to purchase NFL Network and other certain media assets, including the Red Zone channel and fantasy, for a 10% stake in the ESPN company for the NFL. So this is interesting. The NFL and ESPN have been partners for a long time now, showing games on their network, showing highlights, things like that. So to see them come together in this, not really surprising. It just means that we're going to get more of a monopoly system to me with the ESPN taking over probably Thursday Night Football and Monday Night Football. So we're going to see only Sunday Thursday is Amazon Prime, my bad. Thursday or Friday games like during Christmas time is what I was thinking of. Those are usually on NFL Network. Those will probably be on an ESPN channel now, or at least most of the money obviously is going to go back to ESPN. So that's just something to note there. ESPN, NFL agreeing to some terms. All right, let's head to the cleanup. Now we'll start off in the NHL. Carolina announced, or actually have leaked, that they are beginning a new away jersey for the 2025-26 season. So we'll only see one more year of this Canes uniform, the primary whites that they have right now. The word on the street, it's going to be similar to the 2023 Stadium Series jersey. It will just be white. Personally, Carolina just needs to figure out their brand. They have 4 or 5 different uniforms that they've been rotating, it seems like, the last 5 years. They had the black Storm jersey, which they wear as their home. That's a fine uniform. I don't mind it. They got the white uniform that they have right now. Not a huge fan of that. Definitely does not match the home uniform at all. Then they got their alternate uniforms, which I still think they consider their alternate, which are the red uniforms with the primary Hurricane logo on the front. I like those uniforms a lot. Don't know why that's not a primary. Then they had other ones. They had 25th anniversary ones, which were similar to the red ones, but it was a little bit more of a throwback. Plus, they threw in another white uniform in there beforehand with the primary logo on the front. They've been all over the place the last couple of seasons. So to hear that we're going to be getting a new uniform for Carolina and for it to be the potential Stadium Series jersey, just white, hopefully that means we're going to get a little bit more of a matched uniform set. But it's Carolina. They seem to always change their mind every year. So we'll see what that comes down to. But keep an eye out for potential jersey leaks for that. And then NHL goalie Anton Khudobin announced his retirement from the game. He finished off with a career record of 114, 92, and 33, a .916 save percentage, and played games for Minnesota, Boston, Carolina, Anaheim, Dallas, and Chicago. So Khudobin hasn't played since 2023, but he announced he is retiring from the game. So congrats to you on an amazing career, Anton Khudobin. And then NBA news, San Antonio's De'Aaron Fox agrees to a new contract extension with San Antonio. 4 years, $229 million extension. He was picked up in the trade deadline this past season from Sacramento. I think Fox is a great player. I think it's a really nice contract extension for San Antonio, especially when you got Wembanyama there. You got to get some players around him. I think Fox is a good addition to keep around for the team. Heading to soccer now, 2 MLS signings coming over. LAFC will be adding Tottenham legend Son Heung-min. He will be coming over. He's been at Tottenham for, I think, over 10 years now. Finally won his first trophy with the club. And then he announced during the international series when they were over in South Korea, which is Son's home country, actually, that he will be leaving Tottenham and be joining LAFC. So keep an eye on that. I think it's going to be about $25 or $26 million transfer fee, which is a record for LAFC. So curious to see how Son will do in Los Angeles. And the last one, we got Thomas Mueller, Bayern Munich legend, going over from Germany to the Vancouver Whitecaps. Interesting pickup for the Whitecaps there. The Whitecaps actually having a pretty solid season. Picking up Mueller, a little veteran guy there. I think Mueller has enough in the tank to go from the rest of the season, and his contract will end in 2026. So I think there's going to be enough there for Mueller to make an impact with the Whitecaps. Hopefully it does work out for Thomas Mueller. And last thing we got 2 things to talk about in the college world, which we're getting close to college football season. So we are probably going to have episodes split up into the 2 per week, meaning we're going to have a Core 4 Plus news and we're going to have a college news episode too. So 2 episodes coming up pretty soon once the college football season starts. But as of right now, combined into this episode, we got the cleaned up college football coaches poll. This is the first time we're seeing a poll for the upcoming season. The top 25 is right here. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Ohio State. 3, Penn State. 4, Georgia. 5, Notre Dame. 6, Clemson. 7, Oregon. 8, Alabama. 9, LSU. 10, Miami. 11, ASU. 12, Illinois. 13, South Carolina. 14, Michigan. 15, Ole Miss. 16, SMU. 17, Florida. 18, Tennessee. 19, Indiana. 20, Kansas State. 21, Texas A&M. 22, Iowa State. 23, BYU. 24, Texas Tech. And 25, Boise State. Other receiving votes that had triple-digit votes: Oklahoma at 221, Missouri at 142, Louisville at 126, USC at 116. Those are the top 4 receiving votes, and those are the only 4 that had triple-digit votes as well. So if we take a look at these rankings, what do I like, what do I not like? Honestly, it's the first poll of the season. This is based off of just moves, transfers, recruits. What did they do last year? Who's returning, things like that. Texas being at number 1 is not surprising. Ohio State number 2, not surprising. Penn State at 3. Penn State's not bad. I just always don't think of them as a top 5 school. They always seem to choke against a big school. I don't think Penn State is a top 5 school, but it seems like they're always up there. So not surprised again. Georgia at 4, Notre Dame at 5. That's fine to me. I think Georgia is actually a little bit worse than last year, potentially. I think Notre Dame's a little bit better, so I would have swapped those. I would have just swapped 4 and 5, but that's just me. Clemson always seems to be in a top 10 school. Who knows that they're going to be able to run it back again. The ACC is never really all that strong. Clemson's not too bad, though, this year. Again, they're not big on the transfer portal, so it's all recruiting class. We'll see what Clemson's able to do there. Oregon at 7, fine. Alabama, LSU, fine. Miami at 10. Again, Miami's not going to finish in the top 10 this year. Miami's never finishing in the top 10 when they're ranked this high. It just seems like that is a very common occurrence, and I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon at all. So Miami, top 10, not a chance. ASU at 11. I think, again, disrespect to the Big 12. Not because I'm a homer for Arizona State, whatever, but ASU had a really good pickup in the transfer portals this year. Recruiting class looks good. Everybody in the offense is returning besides Scatterboo. Yeah, Scatterboo was a lot of that offense, but I still think you got Sam Levin and Jordan Tyson that's going to kill it this year. I would have put them in the top 10, kicked Miami out. So I would have at least swapped 10 and 11 right there. Illinois, very surprising they're out there. South Carolina, that's fine. Michigan at 14, kind of surprising as well. Ole Miss there, I'm okay. SMU, I think they're going to drop off big, so I think this is fine for preseason. I don't really see them finishing in the top 15, though. They're ranked at 16 right now. Florida at 17. I think it's, again, SEC bias there. I don't think Florida's finishing in the top 25. Tennessee, Indiana, K-State, that's fine. A&M, Iowa State, BYU, that's fine. Texas Tech, I think, is actually better than 24. I would have them above BYU, Iowa State, Texas A&M. So I would at least have them maybe in the top 20, maybe above Kansas State as well. But that's fine. And Boise State at 25, I think it's also fine, too. So I think overall, don't take too much out of it. It's a lot of opinions and people just looking at rosters right now. So it's, again, not going to be lined up for what the rest of the season is going to be, but it's just something to note, something new. College football is right around the corner too. So be ready for that because we're going to have a college football episode pretty soon on the channel. Not sure exactly the date. We're still writing it out, still trying to find out what date works best for everybody who's going to be involved, but keep an eye out on that. And the last thing to talk about, we got the men's and women's basketball tournament for March Madness. They announced that it will not be expanding from 68 teams this upcoming season for the 2024 or 2025-26 season. There are still talks that it will be expanding in the future, but as of right now, this upcoming season will stay at 68. I'm fine with that. I think 68 is big enough. I'm not even a big fan of the first four out kind of thing, first four in, first four out. Who cares? Give me the 64 teams. I think that's fine with me. But overall, don't expand it. I think you're going to get too big of a tournament. It's already hard enough to win the tournament. Don't make it whatever. You're supposed to be like, 96 or whatever. It's going to come down to everybody makes the tournament at some point. So nobody wants to watch that. All right, let's head to the games of the week now. MLB, we got the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Would not expect this to be a good game or a good matchup, but both teams doing very well right now. Really good matchup there. MLS, Orlando versus Miami. That's on Sunday at 5 p.m. And lastly, NASCAR, Watkins Glen International Speedway. That is on Sunday, 11 a.m. on the USA Network. All right, guys, that would do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening, watching. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, that bell icon so you guys are notified when the next episodes drop. If you guys haven't already, go check out the YouTube channels because we got the Jeopardy episodes that just ended. All 5 episodes are out. Not sports revolved around trivia questions. So if you guys don't want to watch more sports, you guys want to chill, go check out the YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody who participated in that and who's already watched it. So go check out that, but have an awesome rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later.